All right, today we're going to pull back the curtain on the internet itself. We're not talking about the latest memes or viral trends. We're investigating the very soul of the online world we all spend so much time in.
You know that feeling, right? You're scrolling deep into a comments section, you're watching videos, and suddenly, something just feels off. It's this weirdly isolating feeling, like you're shouting into an empty room, or maybe walking through a giant, bustling city where everyone is a mannequin.
And what about that sense of digital déjà vu, where you see the exact same opinions, the same phrases, the same arguments, just recycled over and over again? Well, I'm here to tell you, you are not imagining it. It's not in your head, it's real, and it has a name.
It's called the dead internet theory. And the central idea is, honestly, it's pretty chilling. It suggests that the vibrant, chaotic, human-powered internet that we remember, it's been quietly replaced. That what we're all using now is really just an imitation, a kind of ghost of the real thing, run mostly by automated programs and bots. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds like some kind of far-fetched conspiracy theory, but it's actually grounded in some pretty startling data. So, let's get into it. Let's look at the actual evidence. Let's find the smoking gun.
The core reason you get that uncanny feeling online is actually really simple, and it's all backed up by the numbers. The internet feels less human because statistically, it is less human.
And there it is, 49.6%. Just let that sink in for a second. Nearly half of all traffic on the entire internet is not human. According to a 2024 report from the cybersecurity firm Imperva, this means that for every single click you make, there's a bot making one right alongside you. We are right on the verge of being the minority online.
And what's worse is that the trend is actually accelerating. For the first time in 5 years, that same report found that malicious bots, the ones built for spam, scams, and straight-up manipulation, they now outnumber the good bots, like the ones that help search engines work. The balance has officially tipped.
I mean, this chart says it all. Look how close we are to that tipping point. 50.4% human, 49.6% bot. We are literally a rounding error away from being outnumbered. This is not some prediction about the future. This is the statistical reality of the internet right now.
But you see, the bots are only half the story. It's not just about who is online, it's about what we're all reading. The very content that we consume is going through the exact same synthetic transformation.
This is just staggering. A study from researchers at AWS found that the majority, more than 57% of sentences on the web, are no longer original human thoughts. It's all synthetic content. It's low-quality AI text that's been spun, rephrased, and translated, creating this vast, shallow ocean of just repetitive information.
So, the big question is, why? Why is all of this happening? Well, as is so often the case, you just have to follow the money. There is a massive economic engine that's driving all of this.
And a key tactic here is something called astroturfing. It's basically the art of creating a fake grassroots movement. Bot farms can be fired up to make a product seem way more popular than it is, or make a political opinion seem widespread, or make a controversy seem like a huge deal. The goal is always the same: simulate real engagement to capture your attention and keep you clicking.
And this really gets to the heart of the whole conflict. The old human web, that was all about chaos and connection. It valued authenticity, it was messy and unpredictable. But this new bot web, it's all about order. It's motivated by one thing and one thing only: engagement. It couldn't care less about truth or authenticity. It only cares about what's viewable. It just wants to create predictable loops that keep you scrolling.
And here's the bottom line. The entire economic model of the modern internet is built on advertising. So from a platform's point of view, a bot that views an ad is just as valuable as a human. In fact, it's probably more predictable. So there's very little financial incentive for them to purge a system that generates all those clicks.
So, okay, we have the evidence and we have the motive. But how does this process actually degrade the quality of the internet? Well, the mechanism is this really frightening feedback loop. It's like a kind of digital cannibalism. This isn't just a theory. It's a documented scientific phenomenon called model collapse. What researchers have observed is that when you feed an AI a diet of content that was created by other AIs, it starts to forget. It loses the complexity and all the nuance from the original human data it was trained on. It's literally like making a photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy.
Let's just walk through how this works. Step 1.
And AI learns from all the rich, messy, unpredictable data that we humans created. Step 2. That AI then spits out its own clean, predictable synthetic content. Now here's the critical part. Step 3. The next generation of AI learns from that synthetic content, not the original human source. And the result, step 4, is degradation and information loss. The output just gets more generic, more repetitive, and eventually totally meaningless.
So the ultimate consequence of this model collapse is an internet that's constantly just referencing itself. It becomes a less and less perfect echo of a time when humans were the ones creating most of the content. The entire system is slowly but surely filling up with noise and erasing the signal.
So, where does all this leave us? Is the internet truly dead? Well, the verdict is a little more complicated, and it's going to require us to completely change how we think about our own role online.
The final verdict is this. The internet isn't an empty void. It's actually worse. It's a landscape filled with zombies. It's packed with content that looks alive. I mean, it moves, it gets likes, it generates comments, but it lacks that essential spark of authentic human thought. There's no soul.
In this new environment, just passively consuming content is a trap. The solution is to become something new. You have to become a signal hunter. This is about making a conscious shift from being a passive user to being an active, critical seeker of what is real.
So how do you become a signal hunter? Well, you have to question what the algorithm pushes to the top. You have to find those smaller, weirder corners of the internet where real people are still having conversations. You have to prioritize content that shows its flaws. Look for the typos, the strange opinions, the rough edges. Those are the hallmarks of genuine human creation. And finally, you have to choose to value that beautiful human chaos over the sterile perfection of the machine.
Ultimately, as that line between human and bot gets blurrier and blurrier, the responsibility falls on each of us. The internet may be turning into an ocean of echoes and static, but the choice of what to listen to and what to amplify, well, that's still ours. So the question really becomes, what are you listening for?